Yep, we are back. It's the Jacob Zimmerman Show. Today I got some special guests in front of me. Dixie State softball is in the house, in the 91 Through the Blaze studios, in the podcast room. I'm here with two amazing players, Shae Clements and Tyler Denhart. Thank you guys for coming out.
Thank you for having us.
No problem. So initially I want to kind of introduce you guys. Shae, you're number 2 on the squad, a junior and outfield catcher. You're from Las Vegas. You currently lead the team in, average, at-bats, runs, hits, home runs, RBIs, slugging percentage, basically any offensive stat, you lead it. And over to Tyler Denhart. You're number 0 on this squad, sophomore pitcher from Seal Beach, California, 4.44 ERA, 1.58 WHIP, 46 strikeouts on the year. So first thing I want to do, congratulations, you guys, on your win yesterday against UNLV. Kind of going through a little bit of a touch stretch. What was it like to get that win against a team that you had just lost to previously?
Well, getting that win yesterday was absolutely huge for us because we were having a tough go for the past couple games, and last time playing them, only losing 3-1, and there being them scoring in the last inning. It was huge for us to take that win yesterday and really announce our dominance towards them.
So you guys not only beat him, but you beat him 8-0. I'm surprised there wasn't a crime scene on the field today at Carl Brooks because you guys just absolutely destroyed them. Tyler, kind of from your perspective, you didn't pitch yesterday. When you're just sitting there and you're watching it all go down, you watch your squad get a huge victory, 8-0, but you're not even out there. How awesome is it to get that front row seat to the action and see all your teammates go out there and perform?
It's definitely awesome to see how we put all of our work into play almost. We work so hard every day, and I know I didn't pitch yesterday, but watching my teammates succeed is probably the best feeling. It's awesome when you're playing and everything's going good and the adrenaline's in, but getting to sit there and really watch it happen, it's just awesome, and I'm so proud of us for doing how good we did yesterday. So
let's talk about your guys' coach, Randy Simpkins, been a head coach here at Dixie State for quite some time. Shae, you've been around him for a little bit now, a couple of years. What's kind of something that Randy has said to you that's really stuck with you throughout the years?
Something that has literally been burned into my brain, if that's even the right wording, that he's always told me is to slow down. If you know me, I'm always going 100 miles an hour every second of the day. So something that he's always told me is slow down, let the game come to me. And he always tells me to smile a little bit more because I'm probably my own self's worst enemy. So yes, a lot of encouraging words from him that always sticks with me.
Tyler, you're relatively new to Coach Simpkins. How does Randy differ from other coaches you've had in the past?
So knowing Coach Simpkins I've known him for about almost a full school year, but he is really into giving feedback, and he really wants to help you learn and grow. And the coaches I've had in the past have been almost the same way, but he is really big on words of encouragement. He really tries to help you, and he's a person that you can go to for just about anything. So I really enjoy the time that I've spent with him, and I can't wait to spend more time with him, but he is by far one of the most encouraging, helpful coaches I've had.
That's awesome. So let's talk SUU. Not only have you guys played the Thunderbirds twice this year, Tyler, you are a transfer, but in that first game, you didn't play. But in the second one, you did take the mound, and oh my goodness, a 10-1 victory after 5? Are you kidding me? I mean, you played great. You had, you gave up 4 hits, 1 ERA, 6 strikeouts, 0 walks. I mean, how good did that feel?
It was definitely a huge win for us. I mean, I know everyone else was just as excited as I was. I know the adrenaline was extremely crazy. I know that first game we played them, I was like, man, I wish I was pitching right now. But obviously, it was a little nerve-wracking at first because I transferred from there, so it was like, hey. But the adrenaline was wild, and everyone was so hyped, and I think that was like one of our best like games that we've had, like high energy, and it was a really good win. It felt really good.
So once you made the transfer and you decided to, you were going to leave, how come you chose Dixie State over other schools?
All right. So obviously at Southern Utah, we played Dixie all the time, like every other week. So I had already seen kind of like the atmosphere that Dixie had, and Coach Simpkins has obviously seen me play so many times since we faced them all the time. And I pitched just about every game that we played them. But I just saw the atmosphere, and every time I watched them, I was like, man, they look like they're having fun. And I wanted to be a part of that. So,
I think that's probably one of the best compliments you could give on the program. That's awesome. So, Shae, now this question's for you. Your game of the year, you just had your game of the year technically against SU, although you could improve for that for sure.
Yep.
You had 2 home runs way back at the beginning of the season against San Diego in your first 2 at-bats. What were you feeling that day?
Oh, gosh. If I could, electric. I was feeling on fire. My teammates were just even amping me more up and just, just making it more, like, alive or aware in that moment of when it was happening for us. So
That's great. So a little backstory for this next question. So I woke up this morning, was scrolling through my feed as I always do. And, occasionally I see, Dixie State athletics pages, which I follow. They post, about the team. And I hadn't seen this kind of post from the softball team. I think it was titled Roll Up Fits. And I think you guys are trying to kind of go along with the theme of, like if you're watching NBA, they have this shot of them coming up to the game. So it was before the game, correct?
yes.
Mm-hmm.
So then I keep swiping through, and then I get to Shae. And you had Dutch Bros in one hand. You had like a cheetah print bag around the opposite shoulder. You were doing the strut. You had the shades on. Question for you, Tyler. True or false, Shae Clements has one of the better personalities on the DSU softball team?
Oh, 100%. She is probably the most crazy, energetic person you'll ever meet. Every time you're around her, it's just like you can't help but like laugh or smile when you're around her. Like she's kind of the life of the party, honestly.
Shae, what do you have to say to that?
Oh, my gosh. That just, like, makes me emotional because I always feel like, oh, my gosh, I need to take deep breaths. It just makes me feel like I am doing a job of being a good teammate in a way, in that, like, I know I have my days where I might not be as crazy or energetic or all that stuff, but, like, seeing that I can make people laugh and, like, constantly give that kind of contagious, like, energy of having fun just makes me feel really good.
So as to that photo itself, was there kind of any backstory? I mean, it looked like some of your teammates were laughing in the background. They kind of knew what was going on. Is there a backstory to that photo?
Honestly, if there's a backstory, I was just like, I'm about to film myself in this moment, and I'm about to like walk up to this field like it is my own like catwalk.
Yeah.
This is my runway. So that was really just showing up and showing out.
I love that. So kind of around that, going back to when you had a huge game to the very beginning of the season, you guys played 5 games in about 48 hours at that Cal State Fullerton tournament.
Jesus.
What would you say, individually, you can give your responses on this as well as you can talk about the whole team. What do you guys think you learned?
Oh, man. That was a crazy weekend. I know it's been a while since we played that many games, and there was a night that we started our game at 9:15, and
Oh, wow.
that was probably the worst thing. But I think, honestly, keeping up our energy was huge. I know it can be hard when you're playing that many games. It's easy to get tired and you're, like, exhausted. But energy would probably be the biggest thing. I know it was kind of hard for me personally to keep up energy, but I think we did a pretty good job at it.
Yeah. Definitely something that we learned from that tournament was accepting those hard losses and accepting like where we need to keep our momentum going and not let our opponents take the fun out of the game for us. And definitely like constantly clawing and scratching back is what I would like to say what we learned hard from that tournament. So
Those are good. Those are great takeaways. So kind of talk to you about yourselves. Let's talk about some of your teammates. There's a lot of freshmen who are really, turning a lot of heads. I think the future of this program is pretty bright. I mean, Carly Eldridge, Lauren Almeida, Marissa Rubio, Leah Volantis, the list just goes on and on. What have you guys been seeing from them? Maybe any words of advice you have given them? But overall, like, you got to agree the future of this program is bright, yeah?
100%, yeah. But I think our freshmen are so open to learning and just like trying to, I know it's hard as a freshman to try and like navigate a whole D1 softball program. I think our team is pretty open arms to them on if they need anything, they can come to us. I know our freshmen are very confident, and I'm confident in them that they can get the job done. But I think being confident and just knowing your capability and your skills is huge, and I think we have that. So,
yeah, 100%. I like one of the things I've told the freshmen, and particularly Aaliyah, is to give yourself a chance. You're given one opportunity, and just because it doesn't like have the outcome you want, give yourself a chance. And these girls have really have impressed me to like beyond of what I could have imagined. Like they're having fun. They've taught me so many new things and just how I should live my life, and just you're learning from a younger generation, just their game that they bring to me.
plus they're really fun to be around.
They are so much fun.
So the baseball team just beat in-state rival BYU, and they're not your next game. We'll talk about the next game in just a sec. But, I mean, the whole town is buzzing. Everybody's talking about the in-state rivalries. I mean, there was a lot of big-time in-state rivalries with football this year, basketball. So when you guys play BYU next week, are you going to feel any sort of extra pressure to get the victory?
I wouldn't say pressure. I think we kind of hold ourselves to a standard to where we feel like we should beat them. And I know we can. We're capable of it 100%, but I wouldn't say there's really like pressure on us, but yeah.
There's always that adrenaline rush of knowing that our baseball team really just gave it to their BYU baseball team. So there's always that pressure like, okay, like let's do it again. Like let's let the girls take this win like and show the boys like, we're here to play too kind of. So
yeah. So your next game though, coming up, it's going to be Friday at Cal Baptist. I'm curious to know kind of what is the specific game plan maybe for Cal Baptist, as well as take me through what it looks like and you guys preparing for a series. What does that look like?
So one of the things that we always do when preparing for any game coming up and all this stuff is our Coach Simpkins always has pitching stats of certain pitchers who like pitch the most innings, what they throw, how they're going to throw it to left-handed hitters and right-handed hitters, and their go-to pitches.
That's awesome.
Oh yeah, it's a layout, let me tell you. And then just like a normal practice day, like our coach, he was a men's fast pitch player, and so he'll like throw to us live. And sometimes he's very nice, and sometimes he's not so nice.
Wait. So Simpkins will throw to you guys?
Yeah, all the time.
Awesome.
It's terrifying.
And I know
6'7" man coming at you.
Yeah, from a pitcher standpoint, coach always has like their hitter stats, what they do, what their kind of go-to thing is. But like she said, coach will either pitch live to the hitters or he'll have our pitchers pitch to our hitters, and he's not very nice about it, but yeah.
So to kind of build more on that, Tyler, let's start with you. Mm-hmm. You have the scouting report on the other team. You're on the mound in the game in real time. Mm-hmm. What would you say if you had to give me, a fraction? How much of it is going off of your instinct, stuff you've known your whole life, versus how much of it is adjusting to this specific batter that you're facing, as well as like what are you thinking when you're going up against the other team's best player?
Oh gosh. I'll be honest, I don't really think when I pitch. My head is very clear. I know coach gives us like the scouting report on the hitters. I'll listen, but most of the time I don't really use it. But that's just me. That's how I've always been. I don't really I feel like when I hear like what they can or can't do, I like kind of stress about it more. But I would say when I'm in a game, like the adrenaline just kind of takes over and I kind of just go with the flow and whatever coach calls, I throw, and I put all my trust into him. So, but yeah.
Same thing with you, Shae. You're obviously on the opposite end of that in the box. Say you're going up against a pitcher you know is maybe one of the best pitchers you'll face all year long, and you know kind of their go-to pitches in certain scenarios. How much of that is in your head? Because if you're thinking about it too much, it's going to completely throw you off. You also kind of want to remember everything you've learned so far up to that point. You know, take me through just what you're going through in your head when you're in the box.
Oh man, a little bit of my head.
Oh.
Yeah, when coach again gives us all this information on the pitchers, I always keep that little bit of information in my head, but I don't let it like overwhelm me.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing that I do is like, okay, sit on this pitch, know your spot, like all this stuff. And I guess going back to a question a little while ago was things that my coach has told me and has told to all batters is, in this one at bat, I want you to go 3 for 3. And that is be on time to the pitch, a pitch you're looking for, and then the best swing you can have on that pitch. And so that's like one of the things that plays in my head. And also, again, I'm kind of like Tyler, don't really have a think.
We just go clear head over here.
But I do love singing one of my favorite songs in my head.
She does like to sing in her head when she's at bat. She likes to dance too.
Oh, I love busting a move before a bat.
That's great.
Yeah.
Last question for you guys. Once again, I appreciate you guys so much for coming on. What is your favorite thing that you can't really do right now in softball season? That obviously you're going to finish out the season strong. It's not going to affect your play. But what's that one thing kind of in the back of your mind that you can't do during softball season that you wish you could do more of?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Softball has been like my whole life basically. So most of the time, I don't know. I just hang out with my friends, but I also live with 5 of my teammates, so we see each other all the time.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's kind of a tough question.
Yeah.
I mean, I do like to snowboard, but that really doesn't happen much as in spring.
Yeah.
But I guess definitely doing more self-care, I guess. I love getting my nails done. It's like kind of like that look good, play good kind of feeling.
Yeah.
I can't get them as long as I want, but yeah, I guess that. If that works, maybe swimming too. I love swimming.
That's dope.
Yeah.
So your guys' next game Friday, I believe it's 6 o'clock Mountain Time, 5 o'clock Pacific Time. Am I correct on that?
Yes.
All right, sweet. Go ahead and take this time to shout out, anybody or shout out your social medias.
Okay, I want to shout out my whole team, Dixie State Sapa and represent. And then follow me on Insta, Shae Clements _02.
Yeah, shout out to the team. Shout out Coach Simpkins. We love you. My Instagram is tyler.denhart. Follow me. I really need followers, so.
RIP.
That's going to do it. That's Shae Clements and Tyler Denhart of Dixie State Softball. I appreciate you guys stopping by the Jacob Zimmerman Show.
Awesome.
Thank you for having
Jacob.
us.
No problem.